Join Gator great Shane Matthews every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about your Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions with some of the biggest names in sports. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Or watch us live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Good morning. Back to reality, folks. It is a live edition of PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. It's family owned and operated with the largest selection of natural diamond jewelry, the only diamond and jewelry partner of the Florida Gators. We got JC today. JC, you're on the Titan MR hotline courtesy of Comfort Temp.
Yeah.
You didn't blow your fingers up or anything shooting fireworks, did you?
No, I fell asleep while they were all doing fireworks because I had quite a day that started at about 9 a.m. and you can imagine how that went, which was wonderful. 4th of July for me and everybody at the beach was fantastic. We had 4 tents out there, about 20 people raising hell, had grills going, coolers everywhere. It was a lot to clean up, but it was fun. Great day. The weather cleared up because we were all so worried about the weather thanks to our lousy weather apps and all of the great prognosticators that were calling for a tropical storm to go through. And, of course, that did not happen. Well, it did go through, and then on the 4th of July, everything was beautiful. So that was a wonderful surprise, and I was very happy about that, QB. And, you know, I watched a little golf. The John Deere Classic yesterday lived up to its billing as one of the iconic tournaments on tour.
Another great playoff finish.
I mean, yeah, 2 weeks in a row, and let's give some credit to our guy Brian Campbell. He's not the longest hitter on tour. He hits at about 275, 280, but he is very accurate with his fairway shots, his approach shots, and he's a pretty good putter. And now he's won twice on this tour this year alone, both in playoff situations over Pot Gator and the Mexico Open at Vedanta, and of course yesterday against Emilio Grillo from Argentina in the John Deere Classic. So that was wonderful. I had Max Homa, I had Denny McCarthy, and those were probably the 2 highest finishers of the 10 that we picked. So
Yeah.
The rest of them didn't really pan out.
Yeah,
That's a
Jake
tough
Knapp,
tournament to
one of
pick.
my picks, and Michael Thorby.
Yeah.
They both came in like 22nd,
Yeah.
21st, but
Shooting gallery. It was a shooting gallery out there, but it wasn't bad to watch. It was fun to watch. A lot of birdies, of course, but that's what you would expect. We now go to the Renaissance Club in Scotland for the Scottish Open, QB. You've been there. You know all about it. This is where all the big shot names are going to be this weekend. And then, of course, the Open Championship in Northern Ireland, I believe, the following weekend. We've got, this is the time of year, guys. Look, we got 8 Saturdays until we kick off the football. So just 8 more Saturdays. But this is a time of year where sports kind of is just hard to, I actually watched a movie last night instead of baseball. And that's rare for me, but I did it. And Wimbledon is going on, PGA golf, the big events overseas. And we've got tennis this morning with Ben Shelton, who is a former Florida player, of course.
he's in the final 16, right?
He is in the, round of 16, trying to get to the quarterfinals with a win today against Lorenzo Sonego. Or maybe this is the quarterfinal. Either way, he's ranked 10th. Sonego is ranked 47th out of Italy. I think this is a round of 16. I want to say that. Ben is one of 4 Americans, Taylor Fritz, Emma Navarro, and Anna Anisimova, who did make the quarterfinals. Emma Navarro and Mira Andreeva. That's a Russian, an 18-year-old Russian. Emma Navarro is seeded 10th. And then, of course, Taylor Fritz, who will probably win his next match, but then lose to Alcaraz, who is the number 2 seed, who I think will win the men's side, although Sinner is looming in the background. Djokovic is still there. If you follow tennis, these are names you would expect to see. The women's side is a little bit more open than the men's side. I think it's really just 2 guys on the men's side. But we're rooting for Ben Shelton today against the Italian to advance. He played very well in his last match 2 days ago, and he is currently ranked number 10 on the ATP Tour, which is a very good number. And I hope that Ben wins today. And if he does, off we go to the money rounds.
Speaking of Wimbledon, This Day in Sports brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Put some star power to work. in your financial life at Campus USA Credit Union, where proud member Steve Spurrier banks. 1985, the youngest male to ever win the singles title. JC, do you know who that was?
No, not in 85. I couldn't tell you. I was in college.
Okay, that would be Boris Becker.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
He beat South African Kevin Curran to become
Wow.
the youngest man at 17 years old to win a Wimbledon singles title.
Wow, 17. Holy crap. Yeah, Ben, this is around a 16 for Ben. He's a minus 350 favorite. By the way, my guy Campbell, I nailed at plus 2250 yesterday, $20 to win a boatload.
When did you make that bet? After what round?
Friday morning after the first round. He was at plus 2250. I had three other bets that did not win, obviously, but that 2250 paid. And so Brian Campbell is my new favorite golfer. Yeah, no doubt.
Who are the three losers?
The three losers I had.
JC, it's always good to let your listeners around the world know that you do lose. So.
Well, in golf, there's so many options and choices, and the odds are so big. You got to pick more than one. But you know, I did have Brian Campbell, but my three losers were Doug Gim. I also had Danny McCarthy. I had Max Homa, and then I had Brian Campbell. So boom, tied roll. So that worked out really nicely, and we're going to go to the Scottish Open this weekend. I like to pick these guys after the first round going into the weekend. The odds are still open. The numbers are still large enough, and you can get 4 or 5 down. If you win, you end up winning money as long as you don't bet too inbound. You have the same bet on each one. So, you know, that plus 2250 is a payer, and that's a great thing. So, yeah, I don't know who we're going to look at for the Scottish Open QB. It's still a couple days away, but it's become a bigger tournament than it used to be. I think Robert McIntyre won it last year. He's a Scot. He does not care about Florida recruiting either. I will tell you this, though. I think the Gators have done well this summer and for 2026 class and a lot of verbals for the 27 class, believe it or not. And DJ Lagway, according to On3, is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the SEC, led by Arch Manning and Garrett Nussmeier, followed by the kid out of Oklahoma, Mateer, who has not played. Mateer is from Washington State, but he has not played a game in the SEC yet, but they really are high on him at Oklahoma.
I am too.
John Mateer is the guy. Then, for some reason, they love this Lenora Sellers out of South Carolina. They got him at 4, and then DJ Lagway is 5. I don't know. I mean, Lagway at least has played in the SEC. He has played games. He's been under fire. We'll see how good John Mateer does for Oklahoma, but that's their big hope, and we'll see how it goes. I also heard a lot of folks talking about how Ohio State's going to be a big disappointment this year, although I don't see how that's possible with the way they recruit. But they've lost a lot of players, and Texas is going up there to play in that opening weekend. A lot of folks love Texas in that one.
JC, did you bet on any of the NBA Summer League? Because Walter Clayton and Will Richard both had nice games last night.
Those guys are great players at QB. Now, who took Will Richard? Do you know who took him?
Yeah, the Warriors.
Warriors, Golden State. Good for Will Richard. Man, he's going to learn a lot from Steph Curry, and that's going to be a great spot for him, I think. Walter Clayton was taken by the
Wizards and traded to the Jazz.
Yeah, not wild about that for him, but it's the NBA. He's going to get paid.
Clint on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, fellas, my 3-year-old has 2 doctor appointments tomorrow in Gainesville, but they are 5 hours apart. What are some ideas to do to kill time? Might take him to the stadium and go on the field. That's what I would do.
How about go to lunch at the Swamp there on University Avenue?
The kid's 3 years old, JC.
Oh, he's 3. I thought you said 13. How old? 3?
3.
Well, what's he going to do at the Swamp, QB?
He's going to walk around and go, man, this is where the Gators play football.
At 3.
What the hell is he going to do at a restaurant?
He's going to eat in the air conditioning and not miserable.
Trust me, he has probably seen the Gators on TV and seen what the stadium looks like, and that probably intrigues him more than a restaurant.
Okay, yeah, I thought you said 13. I don't know.
Take him to Lake Alice and let him look for alligators.
That would be fun. Look at the alligator. Look at the bat house over there. That's where
the bat house, yeah.
Bat house.
All that good stuff.
That's
Electronics World, integration and design specialist for smart home automation and entertainment, affordable local installation, service, and support. Check them out, electronicsworld.net. All right.
8 Saturdays. 8 Saturdays. 8 more Saturdays.
Yeah. Chris from Cottondale on the Titan MR text line says, I'm back. hard for me to get going on summer vacation. I'm here today, so let JC know he doesn't need to say dumb stuff.
Oh, thank God. Chris is here to remind me not to say dumb stuff.
I think I drove past Cottondale.
Yeah, I think it's on 230. It's on I-10, 231 area by
Yeah, it's near like the Dothan exit.
Mariana. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I
Yeah.
saw the Cottondale
That
sign.
is the exit you take to go north into Alabama to go to Montgomery, or rather to go to Ozark, Troy, Montgomery, Highway 82, which is where you had the famous speeding ticket story. And then, of course, Maplesville, Centerville, Tuscaloosa on Highway 82. Yeah, QB, I don't know. I'm going to that game in Tallahassee that Alabama's playing, and this kid from Tallahassee is just absolutely talking shit. He's so confident that his Noles are going to roll the tide in Tallahassee. This guy, I kind of like the attitude. I do. He's going to get hit in the face. He may not feel the same way, but it's I don't know.
All right, so JC, last week I think next week is SEC Media Day, so we'll have
Yeah,
something
thank
to talk
God.
about. There ain't nothing to talk about right
Well,
now.
look, I don't know if anybody cares about baseball, but the Braves have lost 9 out of 11.
That's not good.
They are quickly fading. The Astros swept the Dodgers. The Astros are 55-35. My pick to win it all. The Tigers are 13.5 games ahead in the AL Central. How about those Detroit Tigers with the best pitcher in baseball, Tarek Skubal? The Rays have the same record as the Yankees at 49-41. The Cubs, I'm going to be in Chicago next week. Chicago Cubs 54-36. They're 4 games up in the NL Central on Milwaukee. And if we hit the wild card today, the 3 wild card teams would be the Yankees, the Rays, and the Mariners. In the American League and in the National League, it would be the Mets, the Brewers, and there's a tie between San Diego and San Francisco. The Cardinals are 1 game back. The Reds are 2.5 games back in the wild card. And the American League is Boston by 2.5, and Texas is 4 out. I watched that Texas game last night for about 10 minutes is all I could bear as they played San Diego. That team can't hit. And it's amazing that just 2 years ago they won the World Series, and they just cannot hit. So it's really shocking. Bruce Bochy's got his work cut out there. But that's your baseball update. I mean, that's all there is to it. It's just such a long season. I don't know. I think the All-Star break is coming up soon. I'm going to probably go watch Ben Shelton after this. After I go to the work, I'm going to put the Ben Shelton up on the TV at the gym while I work out. And I'm still holding at 180 QB, 180 pounds. That was my goal. I got there. 180.
All right. Text on the Titan Mark text line from Jackson. He says, y'all were talking about great traditions in college football. And so he sent me this screenshot from Twitter. It says the best college football stadium song traditions. Okay, I'm going to give you in order here. Number 1, Virginia Tech Enter Sandman. Number 2, West Virginia Take Me Home Country Roads. Number 3, Mighty Gators I Won't Back Down.
No, God.
Number 4, Alabama Dixieland Delight. 5, Tennessee with Rocky Top. 6, Wisconsin Jump Around. 7 is Penn State Kerncraft 400. I have no idea what that is.
No idea.
Then you got Army with Tsunami, which I don't know what that song is.
No idea.
LSU is Calling Baton Rouge.
I like that one.
Carolina, South Carolina, Sandstorm. We all know that one. Okay. And then Michigan closes out with Mr. Brightside. No, I have no idea what that song is.
Okay, I get that these young kids, they love all these songs by these artists and stuff. But to me, traditional college songs come from the college. So it's whatever emanated from the school and not from some musician in Hollywood. And that's fine if you want to use that. But I like the Georgia Bulldogs, Glory, Glory, Hallelujah. I like all good old Rocky Top in Tennessee. Those are songs that came from the school side of it all. Enter Sandman it gets all the kids wound up. But the 50-year-old alumni dude in there, I guess he gets fired up watching the kids get fired up. But that's Metallica. Is that the way it's supposed to be? I don't know. Maybe so. Maybe I'm just an old curmudgeon that doesn't know anything. I've been to a lot of football games, though. A lot. I like those cowbells in Starkville, Raising Hell.
Well, that's not a song.
It's not really a song. I know. But I
honestly don't know I don't know three of these. I've never heard of three of
Yeah,
these.
the eyes of Texas are upon you, QB. Throw some out there.
That's a fight song.
Right, but that's still a song that's traditional. That's from the school. It's not some guy in Hollywood singing a song on the radio that you incorporated into the game, which is fine if that's what kids want these days. That's fine.
So you don't like Dixieland Delight?
I mean, it's okay.
I love it.
When you bring in your own words and you create different lyrics to the
Which they do.
that I can get into that.
Yeah. Will you sing Dixieland Delight with the Alabama lyrics
Especially what
one
they
day on
say
the
about,
program?
especially what they say about Auburn and LSU.
Will you sing that on this program before the football season starts?
I don't know. I might get Freddie might not like the bad language that
Well, we can blip it up. Bleep.
Okay. Yeah, I'll sing it, but they better win some damn football games this year. They only won 9 last year, and it was a
Yeah, all hell's gonna break loose. Tony says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, you would know Mr. Brightside if you heard it.
Okay. Well, he's probably right. Tony is
what is Kerncraft 400?
No idea, but I didn't know Army even had that. But
no, that's Tsunami for the Army.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Yeah. Well.
Okay.
Off we go into Wild Blue Yonder Air Force. They actually played that in church yesterday. It was amazing as we walked out. So yeah, I think 8 more Saturdays. I keep saying it. That's
Daryl says, I hope you enjoyed your time at the Gulf. I have a bet with an FSU fan at work. He thinks FSU is going undefeated. He will be paying up after Labor Day weekend. He is clueless.
What do they have? Come on, dude. I mean, sometimes.
Oh, okay. We know it. Oh, thanks, Joseph, on Facebook Live. He says Kerncraft 400 is played at almost every stadium. It's the oh. You know, they do it at the O'Connell Center. Yeah, that one. We learned something on this program today, Jason.
Yeah, it is a wealth of knowledge. We've got an audience, a viewing audience that literally mimics the old encyclopedias that we used to read, QB. They've got it all. They've got it all. It's all right here. It's amazing. We don't use it enough, I guess. I don't know. But man, it is slow. There's no doubt about it. But I'm excited about what lies ahead in the NFL. I've already booked my trip for the college football playoffs to Las Vegas. I'm going to go watch the playoff games.
No matter who's in it.
At the Circus Sports book. Yep, I'm going to be in there. I'm already seated. I've already got my.
Is that where the national championship is this year?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, why are you going there?
I love the sports book, the Circa Sports Book. Look it up, Circa, CIRCA sports.com. And the sports book is massive, biggest one in Vegas. And they've got these booths, these sofas that you sit on that you can reserve for the day, or these massive recliner chairs. And it's a stadium seating type of setting with these just unbelievably large screens. And there's thousands of them. But during the college football playoffs, you get 3 games, I think, on that Saturday with 2 NFL games. So there's 5 games. You get a game on Friday, or maybe it's 3 games on Friday. Either way, I'm showing up there. I'm going to watch the college football playoffs in Las Vegas. Unless there's a reason to go to one of them, which.
Yeah. So you don't think Alabama's going to be in it?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
What it sounds like to me. Text on the Titan MR text line from Robbie and Dothan. Speaking of Alabama.
Yeah. What
is going on with Cags? I'm worried they will send him back down. He's only batting 145.
Yeah, it's tough. He's getting the feel for the pitching in the hardest baseball league on earth, and it's the best of the world. And it's a learning curve, QB, don't you think? I mean, don't you think that's it? I mean, Wyatt Langford's not lighting the world on fire either. These are 2 of the best college hitters you've ever seen. I think it's easier for some pitchers than it is for hitters to move up from 2A or AA to the majors. Pitchers, if they can locate pitches at 95 or more, they're a major league pitcher. Now, that's saying a lot. That's saying an awful lot. But hitting, man, these pitchers they're just so good. And wooden bats, Cags isn't using an aluminum bat anymore. He's using a wooden bat.
He didn't use that in.
Did he use a wooden bat?
Not in AAA, in AA.
In AA? Okay.
They
Well,
all
that's
use wooden
true.
bats. It's pro ball, JC.
Well, no, it's true. But we saw him in college doing what he did, and he did fine in AA and AAA as well, and that's why the Royals called him up. But man, it's. I think he's going to be okay. I do. I think he's going to be okay. But let's be honest, the Royals have nobody to protect him in that lineup. There's nobody hitting behind him. So I mean, Salvador, Eduardo Sanchez.
Salvador Perez, is he still playing the catcher?
I mean, he's great, but
There's no way he's there.
40 years old. Yeah, he's still playing for the Royals.
Really?
Yeah. So who's hitting behind Cags? I think about that for a minute. It's not like you've got Aaron Judge there behind you. So that matters because he's not going to see the pitches that the guy who's hitting in front of Aaron Judge is seeing. That's why I think Juan Soto had somewhat of a slow start here with the Mets. I don't know if Alonso's hitting behind him or not, or even if it's Brandon Nimmo, but it ain't Aaron Judge. It's not Stanton, even though I hate Stanton. It's just tougher. I think Soto will be okay, but is he really worth $750 million? I kind of doubt that. I don't think anyone is really.
And he says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel, Jake Mangum had an inside the park home run last week and stood up crossing the plate.
Wow, he's so fast. How about those Rays? Same record as the Yankees on 1/8 of the budget, playing in front of 1/10 of the fan base.
Yeah.
Fans, 1/5 of the fans. They get 10,000 every night at home. The Yankees get 40, and that's 25%. And then they have the same record as the Yankees, playing with a new roster year in and year out. And they have a better record than the Red Sox. It's incredible. The Rays are amazing. I think they're amazing. I think their back office is the best in baseball. It's unbelievable.
Plan asked on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. JC, did Alabama take an O-line recruit from Georgia, or was that an AI lie from a Bama fan? Last name was Leppencake.
I think they did. And I read something where they eclipsed Georgia's number of 5 stars. Even though Georgia has more commitments, Alabama has more 5 and 4 stars. And I do think one of those included an offensive lineman. Now, I don't know exactly what the kid's name was, but I did read something about that. But DeBoer's doing very well with recruiting at this point. But these are all just verbal commitments, folks. So, people change their minds. Money can get involved. Yeah, I just saw where Texas Tech, the Matador Club, which is an amazing NIL collective, just paid some kid $5 million to block and protect the quarterback on the offensive line. So offensive linemen, there's still hope out there for you guys too. It's not all going to go to the quarterbacks and the wide receivers and the running backs and the safeties. These linemen are going to get paid as well, and Texas Tech's Matador Club just showed us. So that's a pretty amazing day for that young man at Texas Tech. But they're pouring out money. They pay softball pitchers $1 million. How about this? You can get Ben Shelton. You parlay Ben Shelton with, say, Carlos Alcaraz. Parlay him with Yannick Sinner, and you got a 3-team parlay, and you still have to lay 3-1. So we know who's going to win in tennis. That's not really much drama there. I don't know who you would parlay Ben Shelton with, but it's hard to just lay such a big number with Ben Shelton. $350. That means you're laying $35 to win 10, $3.50 to win $1. Maybe he loses the first set to Lorenzo.
Well, there's been a lot of upsets in Wimbledon, right,
That's
JC?
right. So if he loses that,
I bet if you would have bet all the underdogs, you'd be up a lot.
Well, you probably would. You maybe see him if he loses the first set, or if they're tied after 2 sets, then you can slip in there on a live wager with Ben Shelton today. But he's serving 140 plus out there. He's very difficult to deal with. Alcaraz yesterday was incredible. Andre Rublev played great, but Alcaraz is just too fast. He plays the best defense of anybody in tennis. He is just an amazing 22-year-old phenom. He is amazing, Carlos, and he's a very friendly kid. They all love him on tour. They love him on the ATP tour. I think we've got speaking of the tour, there's a golf tournament out here at Hawkstone right now. A bunch of kids and parents are out here walking around. So
probably a junior tournament.
Probably a junior tournament, yeah.
Asa says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel, new Rays ownership from Jacksonville wants to move the team to Orlando to a new dome stadium.
Wow, you think Orlando can do that, huh? Fun that.
They probably got better chance than Tampa does.
Well, yeah, Tampa just canceled it. Tampa Bay's owner wants to sell. He's ready to sell. And he canceled that project that they had going right next to the Trop down in St. Pete, which I think is a good idea. I thought that was a horribly conceived idea. And maybe Orlando will show some interest, and that would really put Orlando maybe on the map now with two professional sports franchises. I think Orlando can support it. The airport is there. The hotels are there. You just got to find some space to put the stadium. I hope Asa is right, and I hope that happens because I think this team needs support. They are so well run and so well managed. I mean, tell me do you know the name of the manager, QB?
Who?
For Tampa.
Yeah, it's Kevin.
Okay, you got it.
What's his last name?
Cashman?
Yeah, Kevin Cash.
Kevin Cash is just, I mean, nobody talks about the Rays until they come and beat your ass. But I'm very impressed with them. Very impressed with the Rays. I was on a little Marlins high last week, but then they lost, I think, 2 out of 3 of the Brewers this weekend in front of about 7,000 fans. South Florida is ridiculous. That fan base down there. When the Canes win a football game, they beat the Gators. You see all the Hurricane fans pop out of nowhere, and then they disappear. And then you've got the Dolphins that fill half that stadium for good reason. They suck. And then the Miami Heat have gone into oblivion. Nobody wins. Nobody even wants to play for the Heat. They can't even sign free agents down there. So I don't understand it. South Beach, I thought, was a very attractive area for athletes. Now the Florida Panthers at Sunrise, your best hockey team.
Yeah, but that's not South Beach.
No, that's the Fort Lauderdale.
I can't think of a worse place in the world than go to South Beach.
Well, I mean, Fort Lauderdale is part of that area down there.
Fort Lauderdale is much nicer than South Beach.
That's the only area. That's the only team that's worth conversation. I mean, I don't know. The Canes did win 9 games last year, so maybe. But did you think the Canes should have been in the playoff last year, QB? No. So many people think the Canes got screwed. So many.
No, hell, they lost 2 games they should have never lost.
They did win what, 9, 10?
I don't even know. Don't care.
Well, you're going to play them.
Yeah, I ain't worried about last year. We'll worry about this year.
Yeah.
Shooter on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, QB, what would you consider to be tougher? Run a 2-minute offense with 0 timeouts to win the game, or make a birdie on 18 to win the tournament? Depends on how long the birdie putt is. Depends on what yard line you're on that we'll go win the game in the 2-minute offense. But I'd probably say making the putt would be harder.
I would say that. You have 3 timeouts. You have a 2-minute.
No, he said no timeouts.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No timeouts. You got an offense, the way the clock's manipulated now, out of bounds, first downs. Although, no, they don't stop them on first downs anymore. So it's just out of bounds. You can do that, QB. Yeah, you got 10 other guys to help you there, dude. Dolphins, you're on your own, my man. That's why what Brian Campbell did yesterday, parring the very difficult 18th hole from literally the same spot he hit his drive twice. He had the same putt twice almost, and that's clutch to me.
Have you ever seen a pro golfer hit as bad a shot as David Lipsky did on the ball?
That's like, that remind me of what I watch out here sometimes. That was stunning because he birdied 17 to get to 18 under. And he was really putting the ball well, but his driver let him down on that last hole, and he bogeyed the hole. So he didn't get into the 2-man playoff, make it a 3-man playoff. But Campbell's won twice now, both in playoffs, beating Potgieter and now beating Grillo.
Yeah.
So God bless. I mean,
speaking of your Miami Hurricanes, JC, Barone71 says Miami also won about 3 games they shouldn't have won. Virginia Tech, Cal, and Louisville.
Absolutely.
Miami was a 5-6 win team. They got very lucky with ACC refs and Cam Ward. Yeah, great point, Barone. Outstanding. I mean, that is so true about the Cal game. That game was ridiculous. The referees, here I go blaming the referees. I hate doing that. But they really did mess up. The ACC refs really screwed the Cal Golden Bears, who I thought won that game. When I went to sleep, I passed out, and they had that game in hand. Miami. Well, anyway, he's right. Miami did get very fortunate to win some games they should not have won. And the losses they took were bad. I think they lost badly to Georgia Tech. I mean, got blown out by Georgia Tech. They should have had no business beating Cal.
And they had no business beating Cal. And then they lost another one that they were just hammered in. So, okay, great. We all have a consensus that Miami did not deserve the playoffs. And though Michael Wilbon or wherever on these ESPN clowns.
Why do you watch those people, JC?
I just read it. I just read, all of the I don't mind watching them. I doesn't mean I have to agree with them. just like this show.
I
Sure,
literally do not
probably
even
agree with
turn
me.
ESPN on unless there's
Why,
a
why don't
actual
you,
game.
why don't you watch ESPN?
I
What
think
do you
their
want?
programming is god awful.
Well, no, the
I mean,
talk.
how are these shows on TV?
No, you're right. I mean, they're basically talking the NBA 365 days out of the year. It's nauseating. It's just not interesting to most of us. I don't think the numbers
It's so
prove it. I
bad.
mean, the NBA viewership numbers are so bad. They're so bad. Just look it up if you don't believe it. They're horrible. College football is so underappreciated by the national media during the off season. It's always pro sports. Why don't we ever talk about college football has more, to me, college football is well, of course I live in the Southeast, so why wouldn't I think that?
Yeah.
But
Depends
for
on where
folks,
you
honest to
live.
God, for folks in Philadelphia, it's the Phillies. They don't care about the college football as much. And I get it.
Do you think they care about Temple?
No. Now in Detroit, they do care about Michigan. But they, it's the Pistons, the Wings, the Lions. The Lions are the biggest thing in Detroit. But the Wolverines are, and in Ohio, my God, it's all Ohio State. I mean, it's the only school there, right? So they have kind of that monopoly that LSU has with the statewide cohesion.
Asa says he watches the SEC network always. I don't even watch the SEC network.
I wonder if he watches Feinbaum. I mean, I
don't know how anybody can watch that show.
Yeah, there's really nothing new to it. It's just now he talks mostly. He's all college football. That's his thing, and I'm okay with that. But it's the same thing, I don't know if I'm just being overly critical or if I'm just tired of the same old silly calls that he takes. But I do like the fact that Feinbaum takes calls. A lot of these guys just host shows, and we get to hear them talk to themselves, and that's boring to me. I'd rather hear some people call in and hear what the viewers think. That. On this show that we have here, that is highly regarded and highly rated and well watched and very much valued, we take input from the viewers, right? I think that's a little more interesting than just hearing Shane and I just talk to each other all damn hour.
You just did one of my pet peeves, JC.
I did? What I did?
You used the I word wrong.
Shane and me.
Thank you.
But, I mean.
It drives me crazy when these so-called journalists around the world do this crap on live TV. I'm like, y'all are wrong. I don't speak it very well, but I know on paper how it's supposed to look.
What I can't take is there and there. Like there in the possessive form is THEIR, and there they are is apostrophe RE. They are.
Yeah, people
that blows my mind. They mess that up. And then there, THERE. That drives me batty. It's like, come on, guys. There's 3 there's out there. You know the difference. You do. You got to.
All right, Bobby on the Titan MR text line says, this is for you, JC. He goes, I watch TV 20 every night. Bobby, I think you should go mentor them. They are struggling.
Look, TV is funny. Not everybody can do it, and they feel like they should be able to. I think a lot of it has to do with presence. If you don't have presence, if you don't have poise, if you don't have some sort of presence when you're presenting or when you're on the air in any form or fashion or medium, you're not cut out for it. And a lot of the guys who do newspaper reporting or who did newspaper reporting back when we used to get the newspaper, back when those newspapers were in business, felt compelled to continue their career in any way, shape, or form they could in the electronic media. And a lot of folks gave them the opportunity to do that because they felt like, well, these print media guys are very well informed, they're very intelligent, and so they must be good on the air, and they're awful. Feinbaum is a newspaper guy. He always was a newspaper guy before he came on television. But because of his expertise, ESPN and Disney decided that this guy would be really good after that gig on JOX to do a TV show. Well, he sits there and does nothing, literally. And he really doesn't even answer questions. But because of his brand, he's able to, and because of Nick Saban, he is able to succeed in the electronic media. But a lot of guys aren't cut out for it. It's just a fact. And, at TV 20, listen, Alan Chapman is he's a good friend of mine. I really love him. And he does a great job. And they make a hell of a lot of money over there. And God bless them for it. But, man, the talent, they don't pay a lot of money for talent there. And it's for many obvious business-related reasons. But it is kind of it's a learning curve. And it's one of those things where when you get on television, you use these smaller market brands to try to build your presence, and a lot of guys have it, and a lot of guys don't have it. And I could have gone to a different or a more lateral sized market, and I could have gone to Tampa, but I got bumped because of some out of office factors that I thought were unfair to me, and we'll just leave it at that. But I could have gone to another market. I just got tired of talking about other people and what they were doing. I wanted to go make money, so I went that route.
All right, this is an interesting question from Barone71 on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. QB and JC, if y'all had to live in an SEC city, can't be Gainesville and it can't be Tuscaloosa for JC and it can't be Oxford for QB either, what city would it be?
Oh, that's an easy one for me. I like Baton Rouge.
Oh, it's too big for me.
How about Knoxville? Too big?
That's too big too. I have no problem with either Auburn or Starkville.
How about Starkville's fabulous. How about Fayetteville? You ever been there?
I've never been, so I can't.
Yeah. Okay. Starkville is one of the greatest kept secrets in the SEC. It always has been. It's a wonderful place.
I think it depends on, a lot of people bash it because they don't understand.
They don't know it.
I don't like crowds. I don't like people. They got great golf courses. They got great lakes. They got great people.
It's rural. It's a rural community.
I'm a rural guy.
Yeah, you're a rural guy. Oxford's kind of like that in a lot of ways.
Oxford would be my top choice, but I wasn't allowed to
I'll
choose.
tell you, the place I enjoyed visiting years and years ago was Athens, Georgia. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. Auburn was fine. Columbia is too big for sure. Lexington is quite big. I like Baton Rouge because you can just do about anything. The food is fantastic there.
Actually, Barone says the city boy in him would say Nashville. Actually, I didn't even think of Nashville because I don't consider Vanderbilt being in Nashville, but it is. But yes, Nashville would be my place, but I would live in the.
That's a city, QB. Big.
I would live in the outer skirts.
You would hate the traffic getting in.
No, I would not go downtown except every now and then on Broadway. Mm-hmm. But that's a good place to go.
It is a good place, and I'm with you on this. But Starkville's fine. It's a little college town. Tuscaloosa is what Starkville is today. It was back when I went to school there. It's gotten bigger now. But Nashville, Columbia, Knoxville, Baton Rouge.
Andy says Columbia, Missouri is on the bottom of your list.
Oh no, yeah. I said Columbia, South Carolina, but there is Columbia, Missouri as well. Yeah. How about Austin, Norman, Oklahoma? Don't know much about it. Have been once. Austin, Texas is a metropolis. I think that's the biggest.
Austin's way too big.
So big. I think it's the biggest city in the SEC. If you added it all up, I think it's bigger than Nashville. They're both very, very large places, and they both centered around music. Very liberal places, very progressive, and very music centered. And music's big there, and so it's a lot of traffic there. Lots of traffic.
All right, JC, you got anything else before we get you out of here?
Well, I just pulled my big toenail, and it really looks bad right now. So that sucks. I'm going to go work out and watch Ben Shelton win. Remember, if you're going to take Ben, try to get him live. Maybe he'll lose the first set. I don't know. That's not always good to lose a set, but it will bring the number shorter.
JC, here's a dumb question. I don't know if you know the answer. Yeah. How much does the winner of Wimbledon get?
I bet you it's close to $2 million just for prize money. I'll bet you it is. Maybe it's $4 million. I don't know. It's a hell of a lot. I think it's Wimbledon is the tennis equivalent to the Masters, maybe. Would you say that's right?
Yeah, but the pay's not the same.
Well,
there's no way. I think you got $4 million to win the Masters.
Yeah, tradition-wise, I think Wimbledon is the most traditional because that's like the home of tennis. Whatever. I don't know. The best stadium, though, is at the U.S. Open Tennis Center, Arthur Ashe. That's 3 times the size of the center court at Wimbledon, I think. 2 times at least. At least 2 times.
JC Daniel on Facebook Live says, when I said outer skirts, he said that might be the most country word he's ever heard. I didn't think it was that country.
Outskirts. You said outer skirts.
The outer skirts.
Outskirts. You don't use the ER. You don't use the ER, coach. I mean, that's all right.
Well, I do.
You're a Mississippi guy. By the way, how was Orange Beach? Did you like
Orange Beach was outstanding. I've never seen so many damn people, because they have that. Orange Beach is known for their wharf where their concerts are and everything. I've never seen so many people on the beach in my life.
Yes.
There were a lot of patriotic folks in
but let me tell you,
Southern Alabama.
Southern Alabama, Jack. What's that, about 6-hour drive for you?
Yeah, something 5.5, 6, right there by the Floribama's only about a mile and a half away from where we were.
That's fun. That's fun. We were at
You ever been to the Floribama, JC?
I've been to the Floribama. It's wonderful. From what I can remember, anyway.
Yeah. All right.
All right, man.
Asa says the winner gets 4.1 million.
There you go. Ace is right.
Okay, so it's equivalent to the Masters.
Yeah. Oh, that's big money, dude. That's their deal. I think if you asked every tennis player, what's the one Grand Slam you'd want to win?
Oh, it'd be Wimbledon for sure.
Yeah, they'd want to win.
Yeah. All right, JC, have fun with your toenail.
Yeah, it's not good. All right.
JC, join us on the Titan More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. Quick timeout. Come back. Got some more text to get to. You're watching and listening PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. We'll be right back.
Our premium sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union,
International Diamond Center,
Meldon Law, QC Kinetics, Dave & Buster's, UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, JF Hayden Craft Liqueurs, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Los Linderos Tequila. Gridiron sponsors are Baker Sporting Goods, Comfort Temp, Electronics World, Florida Victorious, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Meals Cheesesteak, Celebrate Primary Care, Dowling Signs, Gator Bait Media, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, Okido America, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, Nest and Wow, MG&A Wealth Management. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. To become a sponsor, call my man Freddie at 352-284-3733.
What's up, everyone? I'm Mike Pouncey, and this is my twin brother Marquise Pouncey, and this is Life After Football.
Let's go. We are the owners of Tropical Distillery, and JF Hayden's is our liqueur brand.
We have 5 different flavors: a mango, a lychee, an espresso, citrus, and key lime pie. We pride ourselves on not only being a Florida-made brand, but also a cocktail solution. With that being said, cheers,
And go Gators.
Hi there, this is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that by popular demand, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet. You have spoken, we have listened, and we're now serving Gainesville's only elevated buffet, complete with an omelet station, ginger sage chicken sausage, shredded short rib, and of course our chicken and waffles. Plus, you can enjoy bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
Coach, it always impressed me how you beat Florida State to win the 1996 National Championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
You won more SEC championships than you lost home games at the Swamp.
And you had plenty of super games in front of our Gator Nation.
Yeah, there really is something special about the Swamp.
I guess that's why we say about the Swamp, only the Gators get out alive.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, 100% agave Los Linderos tequila, aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
I think you mean head beer coach, 1966 lager, a crisp, light, bodied lager for easy drinking.
Nope. Los Linderos tequila, smooth enough to drink neat, bold enough to elevate a cocktail.
1966 lager, enjoyed on game days in the fall or whenever you need a winning cold brew.
Los Linderos tequila.
1966 lager.
Los Linderos.
1966 lager.
Y'all stop bickering.
Okay, you're both wrong anyway. The best thing Spurrier's Gridiron Grill offers are Jerry's famous chocolate chip cookies.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios. Injuries occur whenever and however, and it's never convenient. For sprains, strains, and minor fractures, UF Health Orthocare makes it convenient for you 7 days a week, including evenings. Walk-ins are welcome at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Speaking of sports medicine, we got a text on the Titan Mart text line from John in Chattanooga, Tennessee. He says, Shane, do you have any updates on DJ Lagway? I do not. All reports are that he will be ready to roll. I do personally feel like he will not be 100% this year, not until he has his shoulder fixed. But he can play through apparently what is going on from what I've been told. JB on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law, said you should have gone to Destin. It was just as packed, I promise. Yeah. Well, we had people from Mississippi go to Orange Beach, so it was easier, kind of a easier drive for them, a little bit farther for us here. But yeah, we go to Destin as well, but they're all packed. It's crazy how commercialized all those areas are nowadays. Did see some sharks out there, little 4-footers, but they didn't bother anybody. Nobody got bit, as far as I know. So there you have it. Another text on the Titan MR text line. This is from Gary. Did y'all watch any of the NBA Summer League games? Our guys played well. No, we touched on that. Yeah. I did not see, I don't know if Toronto's played yet or not, but it looked like Walt played well and Will Richard. We talked about that with JC. Looked like he played well also. SEC Media Days are right around the corner. That kind of gets us all jacked up right now. It's a dead time. If you don't like golf or tennis or baseball, there's not a whole lot going on in the sports world for sure. Andy says on Facebook Live, our thoughts and prayers go out to the folks in Texas. Yeah, that was just terrible, devastating flood that came extremely fast. It's amazing how that happens. Yeah, for areas to flood that quickly. Hard to believe, but it did. Blind Squirrel on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plum, says, I hope JC has some lidocaine handy. I guess he's referring to his big toe. I don't know what happened to JC. JC must have fallen down some stairs or jammed his toe into sidewalk or something, is my guess. Gallo Car Wash is locally owned by UF alum and the only car wash that provides NIL opportunities to Gator athletes. Join our membership today to see why Gators love bugs. I need to get my car wash for sure. So I will head on over to Gallo Car Wash. Tomorrow we'll have Buddy Martin. Supposed to have a former player on tomorrow as well. I'm not going to say who it is until a joker logs into the deal here on the program. Andy's question on Facebook Live, brought to you by Meldon Law, says, Shane, what's your take on Trace Johnson transferring to California to play for Carson Palmer for his senior year? I think it's silly. This is Carson's first year coaching. I think Carson's going to be a really good coach. They play in a very difficult league out there. It's a private school league against Modern Day and stuff like that. He's committed to Tulane. But I disagree with the decision. That's just me personally. But thanks for the question there. We got another text here on the Titan MR text line from William. He says, Shane, I know you always are concerned about the defensive front seven. It looks like Tyreek Sapp is the leading defensive lineman going into the SEC. I did see that. I think he's a good player. I think he needs to play better. Like I said, I think you have a chance to have a really good football team if you have that dominant pass rusher. Hopefully he can be that guy this year. And I think it's going to be crucial for us to take the next step in the win column for defense. I'm in the minority when we discussed last year late in the season. We did make progress, but teams went up and down the field on us, man. I mean, 500, 600 yards. We made some plays at the right time, which you have to do in football, but we had trouble getting people off the field. And we were that bend but don't break, which is fine. But they missed field goals. They turned the football over in the red zone. It just concerns me. Just concerns me for sure. JB on Facebook Live brought to you by Mel Law says excited about the Open at Port Rush. The city of Port Rush is about the size of Ferndina or Newberry. I never really thought about that. Yeah, most of those cities are real small over there. I love the British Open. I used to hate it until I actually went over there and played, and really became enamored with the way they play golf over there. It changes your mindset for sure. It's hard, especially with the weather. And so anyway, later this week we will have some guys talking a little NFL football. Training camps are going to be cranking up here pretty soon, believe it or not. But as JC said, I think we're eight or seven Saturdays away from college football kicking off, and it's right around the corner. All right, let me get this last text here before we get out of here. Not a whole lot going on as we stated in the world. It's just another text wanting to know about DJ. Y'all know just as much as I do. He will play. He will not be 100% in my opinion. And we'll go from there. Baron says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Opponent, does jet lag effect when you travel and play golf, QB? I don't travel a lot and play golf, honestly, like on a plane. I don't know if jet lag bothered me. I took that Scotland trip with the Mannings in 07. We were there for so long, and I was so damn excited to go play over there. I don't think you really worry about how fatigued you are. I mean, I didn't even get on a plane, Barone, and my 4 or 5 days at the beach wore my ass out. Well, chasing the grandkid around, all that stuff. Oh, it wore me out. I don't know if I could have been able to play golf. So I don't have to get on a jet to be tired. Anyway, I want to thank JC for joining us today. We appreciate everybody chiming in. Somebody gave us our stats of our podcast. I think it's like the #2 podcast in the state of Florida or something like that. So we appreciate everybody. We appreciate all our sponsors. Our listeners make the program. And hope everybody has a good day. And we'll see you tomorrow, folks. Take care.